Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm not.
and today we're going to be reviewing.
Riverdale.
Yep. This episode's called Le Grand Élu. Um,
Okay.
and this was a kind of okay episode. I don't whether it's from the comics or not, but like the whole shtick with the blossoms and everything's like red and stuff like that. I found that to be pretty batty. So yeah, basically there's a maple tree tapping event, the first tapping of the season, and
I don't get what that is.
maple syrup.
Is that it?
Yeah, you get it from the obviously maple trees, but to get it, because it's like the sap inside the tree, so you got to put a tap in it, and then you whack it in, and it all dribbles out.
Okay.
That's like with anything. Like I think they do that with gum trees as well, or they just strip the bark. I don't know, but yeah. So it's also snowing in Riverdale for all you snow fans. So yeah, there's this big event going on, and also all the board of trustees are all of the Blossom company are all coming in from back and beyond and stuff like that to witness it, and they're trying to like get the company from the Blossom dad, Cliff. Cliff, that's his name.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you kind of had Archie getting dragged into it, and then I mean, this guy's kind of dumb, you know what I mean? But I guess if I was him, I wouldn't have had a kind of big problem with any of it. So I mean, he goes to that event, and like the parents start giving him stuff, so he gets like a foot in the door with a prestigious music place. He gets a guitar, and then there's like sorting things out with his dad, so that business can kind of go on. Then it was a kind of split because it was very kind of Veronica based as well. You had her be friends with the hot girl from class, because it turns out that her family, Hiram, defrauded them, so they're losing everything. So that was a subplot. Then you had the whole like trying to get Archie in with the Blossom clan so they can be so he can be a spy. And then it was all kind of. I didn't know that Betty's parents both worked for the paper.
No, did I? You know, Betty's parents both do my head in.
The dad's dopey looking, but like like something I found funny is like, so they go there and because they're trying to break some dopey story, like mugging off the Blossoms, thinking it's gonna somehow fix everything. I was thinking obviously it's just gonna annoy them. So I was thinking, what are they going on about? So she goes to the paper. And meets with Hal, her husband, Betty's dad, and she's like, okay, I'll just break the story myself. But he changes the login, so she ends up storming out, and the most robotic thing in my life, her eyes widen and she goes proper mechanical, turns around, picks up a brick and dashes it through the window. I was like, that was crazy. I mean, what the hell is that?
I mean, the scene was crazy. They're crazy. I think we're meant to buy into their dysfunctional relationship and feel sorry for Betty because of it, but they just do my head in.
Well, they're all kind of doing that, aren't they? Because Ethel, like their parents are like moaning all the time, and she's all sad. And
right, the only one who's got a normal parent is Archie.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm convinced Archie's a bit of a dumbo. So yeah,
his life is awesome. Like I don't even get why he quit in the end. Why bother?
That's what I mean. I wouldn't have
either. In your favour, mate.
So, like, I'll tell you one thing that's kind of it really started to annoy me during this episode. Now, I'm not one to shame people or whatever, but it's got like a scar in between his eyebrows, and I find it really annoying. I don't know why, because it was more prominent in this episode, but it just looks like he's got his eyebrow, and then there's literally just like a really big like line.
That's what you're focused on.
Yeah.
If you're going to be superficial, focus on his stupid hair.
I don't know. I kind of like his hair. I like the way like everyone's like red-headed. You know what I mean? So, and then he gets roped into because Betty's crying, blah blah blah, because Polly's powering her off, and then like he gets invited to like some sit down meal, and then like the dad kind of takes him to one side and is trying to hint, yo, get with Cheryl, and it'll make her look better to be like the heir to the company or whatever. So it's kind of rolling with the whole thing, like putting her down because she's a woman, even though she's probably quite capable.
Right, but if you're actually, again, that's great. Go for it. What's the problem?
Because yeah, he kind of goes to the party and then she lips. It's interesting because I was watching this in detail because I was like thinking, right, is like, why is like Val gonna cry just because he's going to a dinner with like Cheryl? It's like, oh, I have to explain it to Val, blah blah blah. It's like, yo, I'm going to dinner, I'm going to like this thing with Cheryl as a friend to support her. It's like, what, Val's gonna kick off? Be real.
Dump her anyway. Who cares? She's boring.
That's what I mean. That's
You know
what I mean.
I don't see his issue. Like when she dumps him at the end, good.
Yeah,
Get with the Blossom Girl for what, a year at most, then you've got your foot in the door at this musical place, dump her ass, and then you're off.
Yeah, but then they'd probably call up and just be like, yo, cancel the scholarship. So I mean, there's always that sort of stuff.
Alright, stick it out for 4 years, that's alright.
So yeah, he kind of he like there's some cruddy little argument going on at the party where he dances with Betty's sister, Paulie, and then like it turns out she's like, she thinks something's going on and they're involved with the murderer Jason, the Blossom lot, so she's there as a spy. It's like whatever. So he goes outside afterwards and they lips, and like I was watching it and like she moved in and then he went for it. So I'm thinking, why is he so offended like he ain't on it? Because clearly it's not like he was closed mouth and she was just like whatever, he proper opened up and that.
For a second there, I actually started to like her. She was like, yes, you want to do something smart, and then no, he balls it up, didn't he, straight away.
And then the corniest line you've ever heard, my lipstick's maple red, just in case you were wondering why it was so sweet. I was like, knock it off.
What are you talking about? That's my kind of woman.
I just couldn't. Why would you like bring that up? Like whatever. So yeah, that was another funny moment. Yeah. So then he dips off and it's like, looks like he's stomping through the snow or whatever. So he disappears off, and then it takes him like 10 minutes to walk around the corner of the house, where he hears them over talking about, apparently Cliff was the one who who got Hiram sent to prison. Then he was like, if I knew, what's the mother called?
I don't know. Something stupid, Hermione.
Yeah. So it's like, maybe because she's so resourceful, we should have had her chucked in prison instead. So
once again, people on this show have been caught just like talking out in the open.
So he's sticking his head through the bush, and if that's not obvious enough, it's cold outside, so he's got the kind of breath cloud like coming up. So he's doing that about 20 times, the biggest clouds you've ever seen, but no one like cocks. I'll be like, what's that smoke coming out of that bush for? You know what I mean? One of them ones. But no one notices. So I mean, jeez, it was kind of a funny episode. So yeah, he ends up being like, nah, I ain't doing it, it's not my flex. Because I think like he left after the kiss, then it took him 10 minutes to walk around the house, to eavesdrop on that. Then it took another 10 minutes and he was just like outside the house standing there. I was like, why is he just standing out there? Is he waiting for a lift? But like and then it's like, yeah, I'm done, blah blah blah, and he ends up walking off. So I'm thinking, what did he like walk around the house and just stand there waiting for her to come after him so he could say I'm done?
This guy, not only is his life great already, his life is so great, he gets things thrown his way that he's like, nah, right, there's this, he has the thing he wants in life thrown at him. He's got, some shit unattractive. Well, I'm not hanging out with her for a couple of years. But no, he throws that away. A few episodes back, he gets made football captain. He's like, nah, I'll give that away. Like, this guy.
I think you're meant to be like, oh, poor Archie.
Poor Archie, what? He's got everything.
Like, look at it from this is targeted at women. I'm sorry, I don't care what you kind
No,
of
that's not
want to get
offensive.
over it. But like, look at it from a woman's point of view. They're like, oh my god, poor Archie is like, oh, he's wanted to be football captain, but he had to give it away for his singing. And then it's like, oh, we wanted that singing so much, but he had to give up the scholarship for his principles. Isn't he dreamy? So yeah, and then it's like. And then you see him later, he's dashing in the snow. I was waiting for him to drop. I thought, if that was me dashing in the snow, I'd be on my Betty. So yeah, he kind of taps Val, whose hair's looking great. So he taps her, she takes her earphones out, and she's like, yo, you've been ignoring me. I was thinking, you wanna know what? I noticed that as well, because you never really see her about. And she's like, yeah, you've been ignoring me for the past couple of weeks. I was like, oh, that means episode. And then she like dumps him and walks off, and I just
No, but
like,
when,
oh, right
before
then.
she dumps him, right, she's like, "Oh, I won't be bought like you." I'm like, what sort of teenager has that level of morality? I mean, really? I mean,
Exactly.
Granted, I'm not saying teenagers go out there and murder and rape and pillage, but if you have an opportunity to have everything you want in your life given to you to hang out with some girl for a while, anyone's going to do that.
Exactly. Just be moral for everything after that.
It's true teenagers. I'll do it now.
Yeah, and then also you've got Veronica being buddies with Ethel, blah blah blah, and then her dad ends up like, see, I got my wires crossed because like they're like, oh, did you hear about Ethel? And then she started pranging, thinking she killed herself, and it turned out, I swear, like it was her dad committed suicide.
Her dad tried.
Yeah, I swear I didn't hear the try. I thought, oh, he's dead. So then there was a real like dramatic moment where she runs into the bathroom and yanks her pearls off, and then she like goes to the hospital with the kind of white lilies. So I was thinking, oh, he's definitely dead, and it turns out he's alive. So I was just like, oh, whatever. I knew that kind of thing was gonna fix itself anyway with the whole, oh, I don't blame you for like what your dad did. It's like obvious. So why are you getting mad at her for? It's not like she orchestrated anything.
See, I don't know how to feel about this kind of thing because. In one respect, I do kind of like the fact, I do kind of respect the fact they're going for the whole bullying leads to suicide kind of thing. But then they pull their punches. Like, A, it's not the girl who tries to commit suicide, it's the dad. And B, he doesn't even do it.
Well, the girl weren't getting bullied.
No,
bully leads to suicide.
Because the point was that the whole reason for the story was in the beginning, Veronica said she bullied a girl at a royal school, right? So that was why she felt the way she did.
And she was like, oh, she killed herself. And she was like, no, she just transferred school. So,
right.
All right, then.
It's like, if you're going to do it, go for it.
There were definitely undertones, but it didn't really result in kind of anything. So, yeah. Then, like, I guess it all comes out about Hiram owning the thing. So, like, Freddie cuts a deal to get, like, 20% of something, I don't know what, just 20% of whatever.
Remind me, who's Freddie?
Oh, Fred Andrews, Luke Perry.
Oh.
Remember, he's sitting in his chair and he's like, I want 20%, and he starts stretching and leaning back in his chair, like proper pleased with himself, like, you ain't gonna mug my family off, you know, that old line. And then she's like, yeah, alright, then have 20%. I'm thinking, 20% of what? So yeah, so I guess it kind of ended in there. Let's talk numbers.
I mean, 7, I think. You know, it was alright. I still struggle with the fact that a lot of these people are unlikable. I mean, like you say, you brought up, you know, it's made for teenage girls and maybe they view the show differently, but as a grown man, I just look at these people and think most of you suck.
Like who? Who are the characters that stick out to you as being whack?
Well, especially the big one is
Archie.
Archie, yeah. He's meant to be the main dude. I just can't like him. His life's too perfect, right? Then there's Betty's family. I like Betty herself. I can't really buy into Betty because she's surrounded by awful people who I don't like. I think the Jughead is okay, but I don't really have to see much charisma in him. The Veronica's alright, but again, her story's dragged down by the fact that her parents both suck. Like, you know, I don't mind most of the main kids bar Archie, but everyone else around them, it just do my head in.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll probably give the episode the same thing. There was a couple. There was just really like I don't get like when the woman like the acting of like Betty's mum when she picked up the rock and threw it through the window. She just stood there, proper went wide-eyed, bent over, picked up the rock, dashed it, and then just really swiveled on a nickel, and then just walked off. I was thinking, what the hell, man? That was so weird.
I think she's the worst out of all of them. She's the one that really bugs me more than anyone else, because I think she's meant to be this character that's on a lot of these team soap kind of things of the awful pairing, but the one you kind of like, even though they're terrible. But you know, like Dan on One Tree Hill, or Julie Cooper on the OC. They're awful people, but they're a villain you're meant to like. I can't like her.
Mm-hmm.
She's just so stupid.
Yeah, I don't get her shtick either, but it was just so unorganic and looked really forced and really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's never acted in her life, and she just kind of like proper made herself made it obvious that she was kind of some kind of crazy woman, but she looked robotic. So yeah, that's our review of the 9th episode of Riverdale. I'm still liking it though.
Yeah.
What, you're not feeling it as much?
I'm not. I'm more into, you know, as much as I think it's stupid, I'm more into it when they got some goofy crap with like the serpents and all that stuff. As much as I think it's goofy, I don't mind that. But when it's about when it's Betty's family and Romeo and Juliet crap, yeah.
That was a kind of it had a different tone to all the other episodes. So we'll catch you for next week. I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
This has been the Superhero Hub.